makes the Raiders the #2 team in the state. Scotland listed as #6 by the Associated Press in the state of North Carolina. Kind of cool when two conference teams go at it and that are so highly rated.
That's
and
true.
you see the records there. Scotland's one blemish was against Lumberton, a team that is much improved under Jeff Smouse, and I had a chance to talk with some of the coaches over at Lumberton and a couple of other coaches statewide. Interestingly, Ernest, all the coaches I talked to thought Scotland was going to win this game.
Well, that's true. And you talk about the Lumberton loss, you have to pretty much explain that. There was a lateral pass thrown by Charlie Sexton, the quarterback for Scotland. Nobody picked it up. They didn't think it was a lateral. Lumberton defender picked it up and ran it in. So it's a much closer game. I think a lot of people allude to how important this game is for Scotland. To a certain extent, it's more important to Scotland than Richmond, because with Scotland one loss already in the season, if they get two, they will not get a home game in the beginning of the playoffs. They'll be on the road. And as we know from past history, it's almost impossible to win to get the Chapelini Road.
Well, with
Richmond loses one, they could be #2 seed out of the conference, still be the 7th or 8th seed in the playoffs and be at home at least for the first game.
The way the playoffs are now, even with 2 losses, you still will probably get a home game, but only one.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it. You know, you'll be in the 6 to 10 range, and if you get 6, 7, or 8, you got that home game for round 1. But after that, the road to Chapel Hill truly is a road. You don't get to walk outside and play. You got to get on a bus.
And I think a lot of it, what we talked in stand-up, Richmond's weakness so far this season defensively has been the defensive line. And what Scotland's been able to do very efficiently is run up the middle with Bruce Freeman. And we'll see if tonight, if they can do that, that opens up a lot for your sophomore quarterback. It's almost a reversal of situations, and Scotland wants to run so they can pass. Whereas with Richmond, you're going to see them come out and throw the ball so they can run with Marcus Rush. So even though they run the same type of offense, a spread or the I formation, both teams consistently the same, you're going to see their approach 360 degrees difference.
And here come the Raiders, and it must be a special game because they're those gold jerseys with the white digits. They save the gold and gold for the big games. And I guess this is kind of a big game.
This has been more build-up for a Richmond-Scotland game than I can remember in the last 10 years. And even though Scotland had just as good teams, just as talented teams in the past, you talk a lot about the 7-year losing streak. It's been 7 years since Scotland has beaten Richmond. Mark Barnes' record is 4-7 against Richmond. But you've got to remember, those 4 games were in 1993 and 94. For 2 years, he beat them 4 times. So they know they can come over here. They beat Richmond twice at Raiders Stadium. They think they have the great mix of senior leadership and young talent, juniors and sophomores, to be able to pull off this year. It's a big game for Scotland, but for Richmond, their big goal is a championship, Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh. Different goals, but tonight will determine which one of these teams progresses in the season. You can't forget hope. Either one of these teams will only get a share of first place. The Fighting Bucks are out there waiting for them in a couple of weeks.
Indeed, and they still have yet to face those 2 teams. And so it becomes tantamount to go into the Hoke game undefeated. Richmond will take on Hoke in 2 weeks after a visit to 71st. And then senior night for Richmond comes on the 8th of November when they host Jack Britt. Scotland has a little bit different road the rest of the season. They still have yet to play Hoke as well. So a big week when those games happen. But we haven't even looked past this week yet. They've got to get through this game, and that's a big one coming up.
Well, Ryan, you talked about the coaches on different staffs. Mark Barnes, the head coach, Norman Quick, and Tom Paris, who used to be the head coach of Viper, all coached at Richmond at one time. Whereas Mark Kessler, who's an assistant here at Richmond, was an assistant at Scotland in 1997-2001. Greg Williams, who's the JV linebackers coach for Richmond, he coached at Scotland. So you've got a lot of, all these coaches have been on both sides of Raiders Stadium, and they know what this rivalry is. The big thing Mark Barnes talked about before this week is this game is what the makers of high school football wanted it to be. This is what you dream of, a great regional rivalry. And I know in your neck of the woods, we talk about A.L. Brown and Concord, but for my money, this is the best high school rivalry in football.
It is a pretty good one. Again, the Raiders in the home gold as we get set for the kickoff. And Scotland with the very New York Giants-ish look with the Scots on the helmet. Actually, the New York Giants probably stole it from Scotland. And the all white jerseys with the blue digits and red trim. A lot of those banging sticks out there. The Anaheim Angels made them famous in their playoff run. Both sides have them.
Should have copyrighted, make some money here.
No, if you got a patent on those things, you have a lot of money. So you see the green and gold, and we see the white and the blue on the far side.
You see cars still streaming into the parking lot. So a lot of fans have still not made it here yet.
This is going to be loud tonight. Tony Swales is set to kick off. Officials want to make sure everybody's ready. Richmond will boot it away, so we'll see the Scotland offense first.
It'll be interesting when Scotland goes to offense first. If you see Mr. Freeman pick up more than 3 yards to carry this first drive, that means there are going to have to be some adjustments for Richmond. They're going to have to bring in one of the linebackers and run cover. That'll leave them a little weak if Sexton goes to the air.
Swales will not kick it deep. Fair catch caught for and made by Bryant, a backup tight end. And the offense for Scotland will come on out. And here are the players on the offense for the Scots. Cameron Sexton, your quarterback, with Bruce Freeman and Daryl Mitchell in the backfield. Front line with Moody, Love, Chris Gibson at center, Amawilego, and then TJ Clark. Daniel Pate is the tight end. With the wideouts, you see Velton Bennett, Morrell McFadder, and TJ Gaines. Slot receivers in the wideout, and that's the Scotland offense. We'll take a look at the Richmond defense following our first play from scrimmage. First down and 10, just over the 30 to the 32-yard line, it appears. Sexton, pitch back. Of course, they're going to give it to Mitchell on the first play, number 2. He goes to the left side, and a nice gain. As we take a look at the defense for the Raiders, a lot of guys that have really made some big plays this year. Morrison Stanback, Terry Ratliff, Levander Thomas up front. These are the guys that make the tackles. Ingram, Ellerbe, and Corey Swinney in the middle. The cornerbacks are Terry and Nathan Robinson. Your safeties, Dan Fond-Whitley and Brandon Breeden.
2 all-state starters there in the backfield with Whitley and Terry for Richmond.
Second down and relatively short for the Scots, and they will go straight up the middle. That's Freeman. And he busts one loose and gets up close to the 45-yard line for a first down.
Breaks out of the initial tackle by Levander Thomas. Had to be finished off by Corey Swinney. But that's the strength of this young man at 220 pounds. Thomas couldn't bring him down. That second burst of speed gave Freeman the initiative to get the first down. And already we see Scotland able to run on that Richmond defensive line. Richmond will have to sneak in one of the linebackers and go to almost a 5-2 set. They're going to keep Scotland from running up the middle.
Freeman, 8 touchdowns, 678 yards entering this game at 5.9 yards a carry. And at this time, it's a direct snap to Mitchell, and he's taken down out of the backfield.
Great pressure by Tavon Morrison. Young man who has 2 sacks already this season. Shot off that 9 technique, which is a defensive end position, from the opposite side. And he pressured the direct snap to Daryl Mitchell, who usually plays the tailback position.
Ed Emory, a member of the chess match, going out on the field right now with Mark Barnes on the far sideline. And that time they didn't even bother with a quarterback exchange. They just snapped it right to the tailback. Move the quarterback out of there.
Emory 20-2 here at Richmond, into his second year.
Third down and long. Pitch back. This is Mitchell again. He can't turn the corner. The Raider defense snuffs it out. It'll be third down and long.
Second leading tackler for Richmond this season is the middle linebacker. Comes up with a tackle, number 58, Corey Swinney.
So now decision time for the Scots. They've got to get about 12 yards. But don't forget this Cameron Sexton guy, 600 yards passing, 37 of 89 this season. That's only a 41% completion percentage. 3 touchdown passes, but 5 interceptions.
Had a lot of success going to Velton Bennett, number 84, and a naked screen to the wide receiver. Situations like this.
In motion is Mitchell. Fake the handoff, or fake the pitch, and they're going to pass it. He's got lots of time, plenty of room. It's incomplete. And he had a first down waiting for him. Casey Monroe couldn't reel it in.
The backup fullback was a nice pattern. He had plenty of time. It's a great plan. You roll out, get away from Richmond's pressure up the middle. Plenty of time from the sophomore. A good pass. just a drop. Bad luck. Monroe was open. He was 10 yards downfield, as you see. Wide open. The linebacker trailing on coverage. It's a nice developed play as you have the linebacker attempt to pick up the fullback out of the backfield. Let's see it again. From John Casey's camera. High up a Superior Crane. Look at no Raiders giving any pressure whatsoever. Plenty of time, makes the decision. Led him just a step too far.
Could not reel it in.
Well, threw kind of sidearm, and the ball kind of tailed on him just a little bit. Low snap, Ryan.
Reggie Terry deep to receive. They did not hit the kicker. Takes it at his own 16-yard line. Heads left, now heads right, now heads up the middle. And still on his feet, but he's down near the 25-yard line. A lot of dancing, and he gained about 8 on the return. And that'll bring out the Raiders offense. We'll take a look at him here. Ryan Baucom starts today with Marcus Rush and Shavon Simmons in the backfield. Up front is Hope, Sam Gandy, Matt Poston, Omar Dawkins, Terry Covington, and Chris Alfonso. The receivers are Kenneth Allen and Greg Crump. Baucom 34 of 48, no interceptions, 7 touchdowns.
5 wide receivers, Ryan, 4 on the right side.
A little dump off pass into the flat. This one goes to Jamar Bryant. He's the other quarterback. No interceptions thrown by a Raider this season. That's an amazing statistic. 11 touchdowns, no interceptions, 770 yards of total offense for the passers. Here's the defense with Willie Barnes, Jonathan Butler, and Hiley Taylor up front. You have the linebackers Chavis, McKecken, Doug Edwards. The other backers are Streeter and Freeman. And way back in the secondary, DeJuan Monroe, Kendrick McLean, and Kendrell Harley. There's your Scotland defense.
2 tight ends this time.
Second down and a quick handoff. Is this Marcus Rush? I believe it is. Up the left side. First down yardage for the Raiders across the 40 to the 43-yard line.
Ryan, this is the first time this year we've seen Richmond go with 2 tight ends, as they had coming in Jordan Watts, Chris Alfonso. This gives extra blockers in the line of scrimmage. You attempt to do this because Scotland runs essentially a 3-5. Instead of additional linebackers, they have what's called a spur and abandon. And as you can see, only 3 men on the line of scrimmage. So you've got 8 men, essentially, with the fullback going against 3. When you get that kind of blocking, you're able to pick up 10 yards.
And Marcus Rush listed at 5'7", 162, but he is a much larger factor in the ball game. Can't measure his statistics as much as you can measure his ability. He'll go again to the left side. And once he turns the corner, he can't be caught from behind. They ride him out of bounds just shy of midfield, or maybe right on the 50-yard line, which gives the Raiders another 7 yards on first down. And even though Scotland has more of a power attack, Richmond will try to use the speed. And the Scots have to find a way to keep their eyes on Rush and keep him from going off tonight.
What Emory told me 2 weeks ago, whenever you see Richmond go in the I formation, that's when you know they want to pound it up the middle. That's when they feel they have to come up with the yardage.
705 yards rushing coming into the game from the shotgun. It appears Jamar Bryant. No, that is still Ryan Baucom, and he'll let her fly. Tipped and completed up the field. Nice catch by number 4, Kenneth Allen. And that could have been the Raiders' first pick of the season, but Allen, with quick hands and reflexes, makes the catch.
Well, you got to be lucky is good this time. And watch, plenty of time. Great blocking up front by the Richmond offensive line. Zings it in, and just off the fingertips of the nose guard, no, actually the spur linebacker, Tony Streeter, number 34. And he drops into the flats. They attempt to pick up that first 10 yards by dropping 5 guys back and have 1 deep safety. You can throw about 15, 10 yards. You have some yardage to throw at. That's where Richmond might try to go to. If you go down and out or skinny post, those are the type of plays, seam patterns, which are open tonight.
And why is Ryan Baucom starting? Well, with more on that, let's send it down to our sideline reporter, third member of our broadcast crew, Angela Mallon. Angela.
Thank you, Ryan. As a matter of fact, Baucom had such a good game last Friday night that he was named 4A Player of the Week by the state of North Carolina. He broke some school records. He was 19 for 25 passing on 225 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had such an outstanding game. The coaching staff felt that he earned his starting position in this very important game against Scotland. We'll track his progress and see what he can do, see if he can keep that hot hand. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Angela. So far, he has had the hot hand, completed a pass in the ball game. As we mentioned, 7 touchdowns, and you see a good fake here as Rush runs it up the middle. Rush has been the mainstay for the Raiders here in the first possession of the ball game. Kenneth Allen earlier, by the way, is team leading 18th catch, and now the Raiders have a 3rd down and 2, and we'll see what they have up their sleeve. Baucom really proved his mettle, as Angela said, Ernest. 4A Player of the Week honors. Not bad for a fill-in.
Not bad for a substitute.
Marcus Rush cuts it back, and he'll be close, but I think short of the 1st down. And at this point, you may want to punt it and play field position, or maybe the Raiders have a wild hair to go for it on 4th and about half a football.
Ryan, an adjustment the Scotland defense is doing is they're bringing up Chesley Chavis and Doug Edwards, the inside linebackers, and putting them in defensive end position. So you go from a 3-5 to essentially a 5-3 and daring Richmond to run on it.
They're going to go for it.
And they're going to go with 2 tight ends again just 1 tight end. Go with 1 tight end. Do not be surprised if you don't see Baucom take it right up the middle of his center, number 66, Matt Poston. It also may be a long snap count. There seems to be confusion. They're going to have to call timeout. Well, play clock has run out. Well,
it had
restarted.
All right,
reset it.
Maybe they were wondering if it was a 1st down. Anyway, 4th down and half a yard, maybe 6 inches. And Baucom should be just diving ahead here, and the flag flies.
Motion.
Oh, that's a killer.
Obviously going to be against Richmond, and that'll cost them 5, and they will have to punt.
We have a live ball foul, false start on the offense.
It looked like it was on the opposite side. It did not look like it was the man in motion. But you got to watch out if you're Scotland, because you got Richmond's quarterback kicking back there, Jamar Bryant.
4th down and 5.5. You're right, Bryant is the ball handler in this case. Dangerous man. But you're probably in punting area here. Almost got to him. A nice punt. It goes right into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So neither team can score on its first possession. Both teams getting close to midfield, and so far they're in that feeling out period. We want to see how they want to attack. You also want to see, as an offense, how they choose to defend you to set up your play calling for later in the game.
It's like 2 boxers. You don't show your A game yet. That's what you start. Here's Mark Barnes.
He's a chess player.
Oh, yes. Probably, I know Jerry Goodman's told me he has a lot of respect for him, not only just the football coach, but the AD at Scotland. He's done a great job. He told me last week the one thing he's most proud about is the consistency of this team. And except for a few bad coin flips, you may have seen them in Chapel Hill the last few years.
Well, he takes his AD job very seriously, and some coaches wouldn't, but he does. And of course, Jerry Goodman takes it very seriously as well.
And of course, we would be remiss not to mention he was the Shrine Bowl
head coach last Shrine year. Bowl, and that's tough for an AD to do. It took a lot of time out. That's a very trying situation, but I had a chance to visit with Coach Barnes last December, or the week of that ball game, and a very nice man. And he cares a lot, and it changes you. That Shrine Bowl experience changes you. 2nd down and about 7 now.
Again, they're picking up 3 yards. They're going up the middle.
Mitchell left side. I'm sorry. Freeman. Bruce Freeman.
Young man's averaging 5.9 yards a carry. If you can get 6 yards a carry, I think you're going to wind up playing on Sunday. I don't mean in the backyard either.
Yeah, I play
like me and you do on Sunday.
I play on Sunday, but it doesn't count for anything.
He'll get paid to play on Sunday.
There we go. He is a big bruising guy. We've talked about his size, 210 pounds and 5'10". He probably is a little bit bigger than that by this point. 3rd down and about 3. This is a big play. Freeman, or rather Freeman, yes, left side. I don't think he's got it. He's going to be close. Good pursuit by the Raiders.
Yeah, Daniel Ellerbe, Chris Ingram came in and did a great job from the linebacker position. The offensive line, particularly Michael Moody, who's really the leader of that team, doing a great job of tying up Corey Sweeney, which are 2 outside linebackers who are shooting the gap. Watch again. They're tying up Sweeney. You see him right there in the middle. But watch coming in from outside, tying it up. Number 32, Chris Ingram. The young man that says his biggest thrill was when he was born.
And he remembers it well. This punt is a low liner. Bounces high in the air, takes a Scotland bounce and gets over to the 38-yard line. So the Raiders are slowly winning the battle of field position. And the key in a game without scoring is to keep moving the ball closer to the end zone so you don't far, and then now just break off a couple of big plays, get the points, move on. Now, Scotland's D showed it could hold on the first possession. Richmond's now held on 2 possessions.
And 2 different type of possessions, as you see Scotland establishing the run, but Richmond trying to establish the pass. And both so they can be able to do the opposite when the opportunity presents itself.
There's Jamar Bryant back in there, and he will quarterback here on the second series.
Single back with 2 wideouts. Again with 2 tight ends.
Bryant keeps it himself on the delay, and he won't get very far. When he's in there, he's a huge threat to run, and don't think Scotland doesn't know that.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Richmond has had some injuries on the offensive line. Josh Hammonds, the normal left guard, injured his knee against Douglas Burden, being replaced by Sam Gandy. Though Gandy has had a lot of time this year, playing experience, that is a transition that you have to work in with your offensive line. And consistency with the line working together is more important than any other aspect of the football team.
Pitch it wide to Rush. Dangerous play. Rush stumbles forward for about 9 yards. The Rush, we mentioned his totals. Why is Bryant a threat to Rush? 336 yards. Nay, not very many for a quarterback, but only on 33 carries. It's an average of over 10 a carry and 3 touchdowns. Combine that with Dumas and Simmons, and the Raiders have 4 backs averaging over 5 yards per carry.
Again, great pitch there. Read with the linebackers coming in, and the quick acceleration of Rush. He sees the lane and can shoot up the narrowest of lanes.
And he slides wide up until he gets the ball, and he's straight up field. That's what you want out of a running back.
Well, Richmond didn't have a 3rd and short last time because of the penalty. Let's see how they operated this time.
This time it looked like Shavon Simmons had it, but as soon as he got the ball, he had a meeting with Dwan Moore there, number 3.
It looked like an option play, and normally options don't work that well on 3rd and short. It did not work this well.
Great defensive play. They stacked it up, and now the Raiders will punt on their second possession. So 4 possessions and 4 punts so far. A little defensive struggle with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Nobody deep to receive for Scotland. They must think it's a fake.
High punt, not very deep. Raiders hope it takes a Raider bounce. It does now. It comes back, and now Scotland will start near their own 30-yard line. So the Raiders could not capitalize on the good starting field position, and Scotland gets it back just about where they turned it over last, just shy of the 30.
Now you're going to see adjustments through the game, and I think one of the better individuals in making adjustments has been Mark Barnes through the years. He has seen already that he can run on 1st down, but he might be tempted to roll out and throw a pass on 1st down. He may think that he's gotten Richmond's defense a little complacent now, expecting to run, particularly out of the I formation, which normally is not a passing offensive structure.
1st down.
Fumble.
Ball fumbled. Quarterback falls on it. That's Sexton. So that gap cost them a yard and a down. It'll be 2nd down at about 11.
Chris Gibson on the exchange, and hard to see from our vantage point who was it called at that exchange. A little bit of nerves. Big game like this, everyone's a little hyper. You worry about your quarterbacks in this situation because they have a tendency to throw it a bit too hard, because they're like us in the booth, fans on the sidelines, they're hyped for this.
2nd down and a long 10. Sexton under center, I formation. Tight end right side. Freeman, nothing there.
Darnell Stanback, the defensive end, 2 sacks so far this year, shoots through the gaps from that defensive end position, and he's sitting there waiting for the tackle.
6'1", 205, a junior.
Big Georgia fan. Must play for the Bulldogs when he graduates from Richmond.
Who doesn't?
But nice season they're having this year.
No kidding.
Again, another 3rd and very long. And again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sexton roll out and get away from this pressure from Richmond's linebackers.
They'll put T.J. Gaines in motion, and he'll be out in the flats. They will throw to him, but not very well. Sexton throws it away. Trying to hit Gaines, but on the run, a much more difficult throw for a high school player to complete. It's 4th down.
Tavon Morrison coming in from the defensive position, and Tavon made a great play. A lot of guys will move to where the quarterback is. He knew with the rollout, he knew where Sexton was going, so he cut him off at the pass. He met him where he was going to. By that, choice of that option, he made Sexton throw the ball way too early, trying to hit Gaines.
Reggie Terry back, flags fly. Fourth down and 12, and we have a situation.
Richmond penalty.
Sides, perhaps.
Yeah,
defensive encroachment.
5-yarder. They'll re-kick it again.
We have a dead ball encroachment on the defense.
16 seconds left, and you see the 5-yard penalty. The Raiders are not in danger of suffering Scotland going for it from here.
Andrew Mudback kick is averaging 37.78 yards per kick so far this season. He's also the field goal kicker, but not the extra point kicker for the Fighting Scots.
There's the kick. Takes a Scotland bounce, and Terry risked running into it, and the ball goes down to the 25-yard line. So a great punt. Pins the Raiders back just a skosh. High school football here on Time Warner Cable Sports is brought to you by our friends at Alltel, by First Health, Richmond Memorial Hospital, by the North Carolina Speedway, by John Boyd Nissan, by O'Toole's Food and Fuel, and by Superior Cranes Incorporated. Brian Rose with Ernest Watson, Angela Mallon from Raider Stadium. Closing seconds, quarter number 1. So that's your reminder to go grab a snack, as that young Raider fan has. He's got the jump on you. First down, Bryant, pitch back, rush, right side, nothing there. Taken down in the backfield. About a 5-yard loss on that play. Great pursuit by the Scots. Kendrick McLean, rather Kenneth Allen was on the pitch. He was in motion, but Kendrick McLean, the other number 4, got there. No score after 1 quarter of play. This game is as advertised, a quality ball game. So stay with us. More football coming up.
Wait. What does he know about this?
What's better than a rivalry game when it's scoreless after the first quarter? I don't know. Second down and about 15. Hand off left side. And the Scots got to this one too.
Ryan again, they're putting 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. Chavis and Edwards are playing a stand-up defensive end position. So you got that penetration. They're also shooting the linebackers from outside, Streeter and Freeman. So you got 7 guys coming in. So Richmond's going to have to go to the air here to kind of offset the defensive penetration by the 7 guys on the line for the Fighting Scots.
Well, Rush ran that one, but not very far. Matter of fact, he lost yards, and now Baucom is back in there at quarterback. Jamar Bryant is split out to the left side. There you see Baucom, the starter this week. He waits, and he's going to float one up. Let's see where it goes. It is tipped and incomplete. Kenneth Allen was the intended receiver, but there to make a terrific play for the Scots as he talks a little trash going back is DeJuan Moore, number 3.
Well, DeJuan Monroe tied a state record held by 4 of the players this year when he ran 2 interceptions for touchdowns in the Purnell Sweat game. Great coverage as he fronts the wide receiver and lets the sideline helping out by being the 12th defender. He brackets the wide receiver, taking away the front and letting the sideline take away the back. So there's no way he's going to be able to pick up the pass reception.
And Allen became a
block.
Oh, this one's blocked. The Raiders fall on it, but Scotland's going to get it inside the 10.
We talked about turnovers.
And special teams.
That's Torrey Williams, the 5th defensive back, and he came in from the outside untouched.
Bryant took his time on this one, and there you saw it. Williams knocked it down. Bryant fell back on it, but it doesn't matter. Scotland takes over right there. 1st and 10 inside the Raiders' 10-yard line. Looks like it's sitting on the 6, and this is go time for Scotland. This is the break that you're looking for in a game this close.
When you're the underdog. Ryan Baucom is a long snapper for Richmond. It was a great snap, but none of the backs in the backfield were able to pick up and keep Williams from coming in and blocking that kick.
Sexton hands off. Freeman left side. Bowling his way close and into the end zone for a touchdown. 6-0 Scots on a very opportunistic offensive play. And that is not Freeman. That's number 32, Casey Monroe.
Very important when you're the underdog on the road to get on the scoreboard first. And that's what Scotland's done. And they've done it the way they've done it all year long with the turnover. They've had the amazing knack of taking turnovers and converting them into touchdowns. And it quiets that home crowd, a hush on the home side.
That's the key. Get in a home crowd quiet. The extra point is up, drifts right, but it's good. I believe Belton Bennett kicked that one. And so Scotland leads it 7-0. In a game that looks like it will be opportunistic plays that will prevail in this one. And Richmond's got to answer. 7-0 your score on the touchdown run. There you see it by number 33, Bruce Freeman. Back with more football in a moment. My apologies to Philip Moses and his family. He's the kicker, not Belton Bennett. He's a wide receiver. And Moses will do the kickoff duties here as the Scots lead it 7-0 on the score by Bruce Freeman.
Look for a chip shot. Just kick it over the front line. That's all we're looking for. They'll call fair catch.
And the fair catch caught for by Marcus Quick.
One of the changes in high school football as opposed to college is on a kick like that, if it's in the air, you have to give the receiver an attempt to catch the ball. If it's in the air, the kicking team cannot catch the ball. You can hit him after he catches it, but unlike college and pro, it is not a live ball until it's received.
And there's Coach Emory.
It'll be interesting to see what he will do to counterattack the big turnover of Richmond. Offensively, they'll try to open it up a little bit. And there's no quarterback. There he is. Mark Barnes there. You got a little happier. You're winning on the road, Coach.
Smile. Handoff. This one is going nowhere fast as Baucom came in there late to quarterback the squad. Marcus Rush comes out of there.
Not to be critical, but sometimes when you rotate quarterbacks, Ryan, you can have confusion about who's going to be on the field, and you've only got 25 seconds to call a play and get it set.
And if the guy you want to go out there at quarterback doesn't know he's the guy you want to go out there at quarterback, can lose precious seconds in the huddles.
Especially when you've got both on the field playing other positions. The other, like you've got now, Jamar playing wide receiver.
Baucom back to pass. Lots of time. Throws out to the flat. Catch made, but only 2 yards gained on offense. On a good defensive play by number 21, Marcus Freeman.
Ryan, they got 5 guys dropping back in coverage right off the line. The flat will not be open because either the bandit, Marcus Freeman, the bandit linebacker, or Tony Streeter, who is the spur linebacker, will have the flats all day and all night. The naked screen will not work. They're going to have to throw a little deeper over that front line of the zone defense. There'll be some pockets open because you've only got 1 safety deep and 2 corners. They're going to have to throw at least 10 to 15 yards. You're going to have open space if he has enough time to throw the ball tonight.
Great play by Marcus Freeman. And the catch was made by Greg Crump. 3rd down and long. This pass to the outside, incomplete, intended for Kenneth Allen. And the Raiders look like they're going to have to punt it away. 4th down and 6, or 7 rather. And the Raider offense just is not clicking like it was a week ago.
Well, you operate a little differently when you're behind. You have no pressure in the second quarter. It was not a bad design play. Another time you're rolling out the quarterback, you're getting away from the pressure, but it looks like Ryan does not have his feet underneath him, and he overthrows an open receiver who's open in the area. That's a nice play. I like it. He's just got to take another step, set his feet.
Now the Scots are getting greedy, sending the house, and this punt by Bryant goes across the 30 and down close to the 25-yard line. So the Scots will have to go markedly further if they're to get a touchdown here.
You got to talk to your defense of your Richmond coaches and say, keep us in the game. We're only down 1 touchdown. The offense will come around, but don't let Scotland have a big play, particularly on 1st down. Don't be surprised if Mark Barnes goes deep on the first play, tries to throw a pass.
Well, he certainly has the personnel to do it. We talked about Sexton already. 600 yards passing entering the ballgame. The backup, Dwayne Campbell's pretty good too, 227 through the air. Sexton pitch back. This time I believe it's to number 2. That'd be Daryl Mitchell.
Boy Sweeney coming into that middle linebacker position with a tackle.
High school football on Time Warner Cable Sports is brought to you by your friends at Medical Center Pharmacy. by Joe Brown, Pontiac Buick GMC, by the Piedmont Cheerwine Bottling Company, by Clearwater Productions, and by Time Warner Cable. Ryan Rose, Ernest Watts, Angela Mallett, 7-0 Scots. Second down and 10 for the visitors. A little delay handoff, a little misdirection. Give it to Mitchell. He stood up and falls forward for a positive gain of about 6 yards. So he'll be up close to the 32-yard line.
Freeman again, and when he hits, he gets that extra drive. He drives Corey Sweeney an extra 2 yards, and that's the difference between a 3rd and 4 and a 3rd and 6.
That's hard to do, to drive Corey Sweeney anywhere.
He's got, well, Freeman is only 5'10", and maybe more of 5'9". He's got a low center of gravity, and that gives him the advantage when he's delivering the punishment instead of receiving.
Important play here, 3rd and 3. Freeman tripped up in the backfield and taken down for the Raiders by big number 9, Danelle Ellerbe.
Once again, Danielle shooting from that outside linebacker position. He plays a strong linebacker position, which means he has to fight off the tight end. If they don't have a tight end, he's clear. He shoots in the gap, and he brings down Freeman from behind. Freeman's not going to run away from you. So if you can get him in the backfield, you can tackle him from behind. Now it's Richmond's opportunity for their special teams if you can get a great return by Reggie Terry, who's had 2 punt returns for touchdowns already this year.
Within a yard, here's the punt. Pretty good one. Terry, nice block laid on the very first blocker to get there. And that springs Terry for about 10 yards. We have a little extra activity back there.
I did believe it might have been the beanbag. It was not a penalty.
All right.
Well, no.
Hold the phone.
Yep, the officials will let us know. No penalty.
All right. It was just the beanbag.
Well, once again, let's see this great block.
Might see a man. There he goes. Flying through your picture there.
That was Tavon Morrison with that denture rattler there for you.
First play from scrimmage. Bryant thought about a pitch, but was swallowed up by the defense. They didn't give him a chance to. Loses about a yard, and so far the Richmond offense is going backwards. Last several plays from scrimmage, run plays, that's -1 on a 1 yard, -4, -5, 0, 8, and 0. So not a lot of positive plays, only 1 positive play out of their last 5.
Ryan, I attribute that to they have seen this particular offense in practice all year long. This is nothing new for the Fighting Scots. They see this spread offense all the time.
Bryant throws complete. Boy, that was a very odd play. It looked like a run all the way. It was kind of a screen pass, and they get it out to Alfonso.
They were able to lure in the linebackers who blitzed in on the run call, and because they had 2 tight ends, they thought it was a running play. Great ball fake by Jamar Bryant. Alfonso's open just past the linebacker. You see number 40, Kylie Taylor, defense tackle. He's supposed to drop back and seal off that corner.
Great play call, and Bryant a great job to get the football out of his hands right before he got popped. 3rd down and 2 for the Raiders. Power rushing formation to the right. The runner is stuck. He'll get up close to it. I think he's about a
half a ball
4
short.
or 5 inches short. That's Marcus Rush to get a 1.5 yards. Probably officially it'll go down as 1. They may measure, they will measure, but I would wager to say Richmond would go for it here on 4th down, though the Scotland interior defense has been staunch today. Very stingy.
You're right. They're doing a great job up front. You're talking about Jonathan Butler, Willie Barnes, and Hailey Taylor. Taylor, a 3-year starter for the Fighting Scots, and they're going to be half a football short, and Richmond will obviously go for it in this situation. Let's see how close our tired eyes are.
Yeah, they're short by about a ball, maybe a little bit more. Well, they keep stretching that chain out. 2 balls short.
What's unusual is we have not seen Rush carry the ball as much as usual. Richmond has gotten away from the tried and true, the I formation, pitching it back to Rush.
Well, the tried and true got a big win last week. Or rather, what they're doing now got a big win last week. And so you're trying to roll with what's working, but Scotland knew that would happen, and Scotland calls the timeout here.
And they just want to prepare themselves. Trying to run between the tackles. Already that defensive line has stopped Richmond up the middle, so they're going to have to go outside tackles.
So while they think about it, we'll think about it as well. Ernest and I will huddle, and when we come back, we'll tell you what we thought. We'll see what the two coaches think as well. 4th and 1 when we come back.
Go see the dealer.
7-0, Scotland leading Richmond. 4th down and a yard. And this is one where you don't want to waste a lot of motion. Go straight at the line of scrimmage.
Power I formation, 2 tight ends again. You got Tavon Morrison at 250 pounds as your second fullback, which would lead you to think that they're going the right side of the line behind Omar Dawkins and Terry Covington.
But those guys can't plug a gap.
Dumas is your tailback also.
Yep. Everything to the left side, and he's met in the backfield, and this play goes for nothing. Negative yardage. Big tackle made by Charles McNair.
Scotland's defense is too fast if you're going to run outside. You could pitch it outside. You could do something else, a short pass. But they're too fast. They're not as large as Richmond, but they are too quick. You're going to try to run laterally with the line of scrimmage. Initially, great blocks up front. Morrison with a great block. But you see Hiley Taylor coming up, finishing off. Also, Marcus Freeman coming in from that bandit position, put the initial hit on. Dumas, first carry, and again, do you let a guy carry the ball for the first time tonight on a 4th and short situation?
Well, yes, if you go straight at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't see anything open. There you saw Freeman's numbers, almost 100 yards rushing today. We're going to see a lot of Freeman, except Sexton's going to let her fly. And up and down field, he can't catch it.
Was it intercepted?
Intercepted! Goodness, are you kidding me? D'Antoine Whitley.
That's why he's all state, folks. What a big momentum change. What a big momentum change. His 3rd interception of the season. He caught that 1 inch off the ground.
With one hand.
Mitchell, the tailback, was wide open.
He had a touchdown right in his sights and couldn't put it away.
He was figuring, how am I going to dance when I get in the end zone? But he didn't bring the ball in, and it trailed off his back right shoulder pad. And he didn't, got to give it to Whitley. He did not give up on the play.
He concentrated the whole way.
So we're even on turnovers here in the 2nd quarter.
And what a big stop for the Raider defense, although Scotland more stopped themselves there with the bumbled reception, and now the offense has a chance to try to put points on the board. Baucom, or rather Bryant, will take it himself and get up over the 25-yard line. That's a gain of about 6 on 1st down. That's just what the Raiders needed. Some positive yardage.
On 1st down. That's very important because they've looked at a lot of 2nd and 9 and 2nd and 10. And an unusual play, it wasn't a straight option, is he faked, instead of breaking outside after the fake to the fullback, he went right up the gut, up the middle. Back to the spread now. He'll take it in the shotgun.
With Rush back there, a yard to his right. We give it to Rush. He's out in the open. He almost gets away from the Scott defender. That's DeJuan Monroe, but not before he's taken down into the Scotland 45, 43-yard line. And you can sense the momentum shift a little bit.
They had to respect the fake that Bryant would keep the ball as he did in the previous play and run up the gut. That 1 second, that one lane is all you needed for Marcus Rush. Rarely have we seen Rush caught from behind, but Monroe, a big Deion Sanders fan who thinks he's the fastest man on the field, does catch it from the angle.
And of course, Rush does the only thing he's supposed to do, put the ball away. 1st down. Bryant still has it. Going to the outside. Dancing. It turns into the defense. And gets up to the 40-yard line. Flag behind the play, and it's in the area of holding.
It's either a hold or a block below the line of scrimmage outside of the free zone, which is the line of scrimmage. It will be on Richmond. You see the officials. And they point your back, point towards the other team. That's what it is. It's a hold. Richmond averaging about 70 yards on penalties a year.
The game?
The game so far this year. Somewhere else spit it out. Get out there.
12 holding on the offense. 10-yard foul, repeat the down.
So since it was behind the line of scrimmage, they'll just penalize 10 from the line of scrimmage. And it'll be first down and 20.
Actually, it was Terry Covington on the backside, away from the play as he tried to seal off the backside and keep Hailey Taylor from catching Bryant from behind.
Or they'll spot it 10 yards from the foul, and it'll make it first down and 22.
Still opens up a lot of things for your offense. I mean, again, we said the naked screen in the flats, which Richmond has used a lot this year, will not work against this type of defense. But I still think they can pass out of this and still run the bootleg.
There's a flag as the defender tried to guess the snap count. A little bit excited.
Charles McEachin just a bit early. He's a leading tackler for Scotland, but he won't get credit for that tackle.
Encroachment, defense, 5 yards, replay the down.
I've seen penalties like that called for the personal foul variety, especially if you hit the quarterback.
Especially if you drive him in the ground.
Right.
But as soon as
of course,
he knew
I'm not saying that one deserved it. I'm just saying I've seen plays like that result in that.
If you catch him unabated and really drive him to the ground, I've seen the 15-yard call too.
There you go.
But, you know, he slides off once he realized that he might have got here a bit early.
As long as no one's hurt, that's kind of humorous, although I'm not sure any Scotland coach would say that.
I don't think Charles McEachin is laughing right now.
He's not. But at the end of the day...
And it's a nice little reminder to Jamar that
we're coming
he says,
for
I'm here. I'll be here. I'll be coming back after this play. I'll come to see you.
Don't forget about me. So they got some of the yardage back, and they will pass. No, they'll be sacked. What a great play. A little coverage. The timing was thrown off by the defense. But, of course, don't tell that to Omar McDonald. He just wants the sack.
Omar, who was injured for a couple weeks, is now back playing. Has 2 sacks. That's his 3rd of the season from that safety position. And you saw Jamar look off his intended receiver. He was trying to go to Kenneth Allen on the far side, and he did not have time to go to the secondary receiver.
That's a good initial coverage right off the line of scrimmage.
And they're really no good 2nd and 23 plays, folks. I don't care whose playbook you're looking at.
If you have a 2nd 23 play, then you're getting sacked a lot. Bryant cuts it up, squirts out of that tackle. Now he cuts it back. He's a dangerous man from this position. Gets past the 45, and he's back up close to the Scotland 40. That play should have been a 5-yard loss, but he turns it into a 15-yard gain.
Maybe the best 2nd and 23 play is improvisation. And just let Jamar go back and make something out of nothing.
Yeah, let him get
because
into
that's
trouble.
what he did.
Let him get into trouble and then let him get out of it.
And now if you can pick up 5 yards on this play, then you're in a position you would think about going forward on 4th down.
Baucom is in there now to quarterback. Watch this. It's so elusive.
And that's a sign of how tired the defenders are for Scotland. They're starting to arm tackle. That can be dangerous. Look for the direct snap here as he tries to call the play, be audible to the line of scrimmage, and that's what they do. Baucom was the tailback.
Throw it downfield. Intercepted. The first interception of the Raiders this season. The Scotland secondary was ready for it. Nice play by Charles McEachin, number 30.
He read there was just a little curl-in pattern, a curl by Jamar Bryant, and he was sitting there in center field just waiting for the ball. Didn't panic with a direct snap. We saw it coming here in the booth. He knew what to do. He just fades back in that zone and protects the middle about 10 yards, and that's where he comes up with his 2nd interception of the season.
And again, the Raiders' first pick thrown this year.
Where do you think Coach Barnes going to go deep again here?
2:17 left in the quarter. Really doesn't have that much to lose.
Well, you look at the situation, Richmond will get it to start the 2nd half, so throw deep, see if you can pick something up.
4 receivers. Fake the handoff, and now Sexton's going to run it himself to the right side. He will get across the 45 near midfield. And a big first down run for Cameron Sexton, number 18.
Raider fans, does this look familiar? This is the same play Jamar Bryant runs. We told you these 2 teams mirror each other, and Sexton, who's just a 10th grader, is doing a great job of running this team and leading the number 6 team to a 7-0 lead in the waning moments of the first half. Again, you might take a chance again here, run the same play. It's pretty safe to run this quarterback option.
7-0 your score with 2:09 left. On the season, Sexton negative 93 yards, a lot of sacks there. Here's a handoff. And once again, they give it to Freeman.
They call him the bus. They call him, you hear in the background, the caboose. That's his other nickname. And the big difference now, Richmond's defense is getting a little tired because Ellerbe, instead of penetrating and stopping in the backfield, is 5 yards downfield before he's there to make the tackle.
He holds on to that football. 678 yards coming into the game. Almost half the team's rush attempts at 115 entering the ball game.
They've got 2 timeouts. Plenty of time for the Fighting Scots to get downfield and attempt a field goal.
He now has 9 touchdowns with the one he scored earlier. This run up the middle by Sexton gets him to the 45-yard line. If they're thinking field goal, they still need about 20 more yards.
Von Morrison again playing a great game from that defensive end position in on the tackle for Richmond. They're going to have to get inside the 20 if any attempt. Andrew Mudd kicks the field goals, whereas Philip Moses kicks the extra points for the Fighting Scots. Power backfield with 2 fullbacks.
More importantly than the field goal try, it's 3rd down and 3, and everything looks like it's going left. Just left of center, and Freeman looks like he's got the first. Up close to the 42-yard line. Clock stops for them to measure this or give him the first down.
He's got about a good 1.5 yards. And again, you
Scotland
see
calls timeout.
That's their second. They've got 1 left. But once again, you see him fighting through. And even though Corey Sweeney is tackling him, Freeman is falling forward, picking up 2 extra yards.
50 seconds of football left. Scotland trying to put more points on the board. They already lead 7-0. We'll finish off the first half after this timeout. With a crowd this big, they had to ship in extra cheerleaders for this one. First down and 10 for Scotland on the Raider 42-yard line. Fake the pitch. Sexton's going to throw against the grain unless he gets sacked. This is a deep drop. He needs to get rid of this football. The Raiders almost get him, and they drive him out of bounds at the 46. Oh, my goodness.
With Chris Ingram coming to the weak side linebacker position. He had him hung up like grandma's wash day clothing on the sidelines. He had a free shot, and he took it all.
He sure did. He lined him up like a good marksman and just drove right through him.
That kind of changes the philosophy a little bit for Scotland now because they're looking second long. Watch again. Richmond applying pressure. He had Freeman. He could have flipped it over or thrown it out of bounds to save the yardage, but he thought he had the speed to at least get back to the line of scrimmage, and Ingram had him tied up. Again, watch.
He didn't look right.
Yep. He had open receivers. Just didn't have time because that Richmond pressure rolls out. He threw out of bounds. He doesn't lose 7 yards.
Second down and 17. Sexton finds a lane downfield. The pass is caught. Great catch.
Mitchell again. They're using the tailback. He's open. They're running him deep every time, the tailback. Now you got 31 seconds to go. You got 1 timeout. You got a chance to throw into the end zone, take a shot, run a play, call a time up, line the ball up between the hash marks, and give Andrew Mudd the best angle to kick an extra point. Field goal, excuse me. But you're going to throw in the end zone or at least throw out of bounds. Save you a little time. 20 time.
20 seconds left. Sexton calling for the football. He's got time. He's wrapped up as he throws. This one is picked off. The Raiders save a touchdown, and Richmond will keep it at 7-0 unless they can throw a Hail Mary and score on this play. Antoine Martin.
Actually, Brandon Breed, who's playing the free safety position, and that's what a free safety does. They play the center field, and they look for the ball, and they give double coverage. They come over top, and that's what Breeden does. Textbook, what a free safety's asked to do. Come over the top, give that top coverage on the wide receiver, and comes up with a second interception of the night for the Richmond Raiders.
He is earning extra starts and playing time as we go through the season.
Richmond will take a knee, and they'll go on halftime because they know they get the ball in the second half.
So that is the end of the first half of play. 2 defenses taking advantage of the offenses. Several turnovers. Scotland picked off twice. The Raiders 1 time. The difference in the ball game is Scotland took advantage of a Raider turnover and put it in for the score. It's time for the O'Toole's Food and Fuel halftime show. Dr. Carl Howell made his one gaffe for the season. It's all out of his system now. And this is the time where we make Ernest look like the genius that we all know he really is. During the halftime shows, we look at the stats and we look at the keys to the game. Let's look at the halftime stats first. Richmond leads in penalties, but other than that, Ernest, pretty close game.
And it's what you do with the turnoffs makes the difference. Richmond outgaining Scotland, both in the air, but not on the, not in the air, but on the ground. But 76 yards, usually what Richmond picks up in just a quarter, not a half. And
several guys will end up with that stat for the half. And then Scotland, not quite as many yards, but shorter field position. That's why they lead 7-0.
Take away one long run by Marcus Rush. That's almost half of the yards rushing for Richmond right there.
And then, of course, the blocked punt resulted in the only score of the ball game. And that means it's we should go ahead and check back in with our keys to the game. Ernest, you were right.
Yes, as the French say, even a blind pig finds an acorn every once in a while, and I did this week. Ride the bus. Freeman again. He's picking up more than 3 yards an average per carry. Turnovers equal touchdowns, and that's good for Scotland. Richmond has gone to the air. They haven't been as successful. They have pressured Sexton. And of course, Sexton with that big drop that turns into an interception. We could have been looking at a 14-0 game. Richmond still in it, 7-0. What's going to be interesting is to see is what each team does to make an adjustment here at halftime. Knowing Mark Barnes the last 11 years, he will be a little bit more conservative. He'll pick 5 or 7 plays that work the best for his offense in the first half, and that's what he will stick to. Fred Emory, you may see him change things up a little bit. But it'll be interesting. This first drive made the difference between Richmond keeping a share of first place in the Mid-Southeastern Conference or hoping for some outside help.
Well, that third key has got to be coming to play at some point. The Raiders are at home, and this home crowd has got to get into it. And the Raiders have got to give them a reason to get back into it. As you see Marcus Rush in that huddle. He's not really in that huddle. That's the kickoff unit. But 10 carries, 72 yards. And well, there he is. I stand corrected. The camera crew knows better than I do that he's in that huddle. 10 carries, 72 yards in the first half. That's one of the keys of the game. He's got to help the Raiders gain some yards on the ground, and then on the other side of the football, on the far side somewhere, it was your quarterback for the Scots, Cameron Sexton, and he had a pretty good first half as well.
Brian, be interesting to see what we do with this kickoff for Scotland, because if Mark Barnes really wants to take a chance, he may try an onside kick. You will see a pooch kick, we know it. But with the way his defense has shut down Richmond's offense in the first half, take a gamble. Try to get a big momentum lift by coming over with an onside kick. And the Kings, of course,
they were on the wrong side. Whoops. Excuse us, fellas.
Sometimes in the excitement of getting ready, you're going to get a pooch kick. Will he take a chance? Do an onside kick? What a momentum change. If they could take the ball here, recover an onside kick. And they don't have to score. It would just keep that Richmond offense on the bench.
And the crowd,
series of downs. And it was quite the crowd there.
Crowd in their seats. And if you're Scotland and you try the onside and it doesn't work, what have you got to lose, really? Your defense has proven they'll stop the Raider offense.
They've watched what they can do, and they know that the front line, the receiving team, turns its back as soon as the ball is kicked. So you got to hit the guy who turns his back first, try to recover.
Philip Moses kicks it off. The Raiders creep up a little bit. Fair catch called for, and it hit the turf. And the Raiders take over first down and 10. The catch was made. The bobble was made by Marcus Quick, but he put it away. There you see Cameron Sexton, the quarterback. 1 of 5, 24 yards, 2 interceptions, and you could easily change that 2 interceptions to 1 pick and a touchdown, because one of his throws, and I would wager to say Mark Barnes probably thinks that was a successful play because the receiver was wide open.
Well, it worked just like a punt. But as for a mishandled throw to the tailback, that could have easily been a touchdown. It could have been 14-0.
So it's Jamar, Bryant in the offense, back out there down by 7 as they start on their own 27-yard line. And this play goes for a big negative carry as the defense right there on top of things again. Marcus Rush trying to get outside but cannot turn the corner. That'll lose about 5 yards. Angela Mallon talked with Coach Barnes coming out at halftime. Angela, what did he have to say?
Yes, Ryan, I just talked with Coach Barnes, and a matter of fact, he said the ball game's not over. They have 2 more series to go, and he said keep up the good work, stay focused, and don't give away any big plays. That's his game plan for the second half. Back up to you guys.
Kind of consistent with Ernest. Be conservative. Don't make the big mistake, because in this game, the big mistake could cost you either the lead or at least a share of the lead in this ball game.
5 more yards. Richmond penalty with the game clock down to 0, and they're going further and further in the shadow of their own goal post. This is one of the rare times we find a Richmond offense totally unprepared to get on the field. This is the last thing Ed Emory wanted to start the second half.
Brian Rose with Ernest Watson, Angela Mallon, Dr. Carl Howell keeping the statistics up here in the booth with us. We're so glad you could watch us here on Time Warner Cable Sports. We appreciate the work of the entire Time Warner Cable crew here on this Friday night football ball game. And speaking of hard work, the Scotland defense is really closing down and clamping down on the Richmond running game. As you see Coach Ed Emory talking at the half that really only one play did him in the first half, although he's got to be frustrated with how the lack of production out of the offense as we see Ryan Baucom come back into quarterback.
And the danger here is, again, you're back into your own backfield again, back to your own goalpost. In a situation you're going to kick deep again. You got to watch for the punt here, but they've got to at least pick up some positive yardage.
Baucom rolls to his right, pressure coming, lost one downfield, it's overthrown. The intended receiver was Kenneth Allen, and the Raiders will have to punt deep.
Great pressure again. Scotland's just shooting up. He's not. Toby Williams coming up. Also, Tony Speeder getting pressure on Baucom. Now, Ryan Baucom is your long snapper. You heard Ed Emory talk at the beginning of halftime that he did not think that Jamar got the kickoff quick enough. When you're back this far, you're not worrying about distance with the kick. You want to get the kickoff quickly as possible. And again, that's what they're looking at. Williams is lined up. Again, no one there to block him.
Bryant, this one I believe was tipped, or he shanked it. But regardless, the Scots will take over on the Raiders side of the 50-yard line down near the 40. So excellent starting second half field position for the Scots. And this is big.
Tor Williams again coming from outside, put a little pressure. He may not have got his hand on it, but he caused Jamar to kick it off the side of his foot, shanked it a little bit. Great field position for the Scots. And don't be surprised if you're going to see number 33 up the middle. They're going to go to I formation, and they're going to milk the clock, and they're going to run it between tackles and try to tire the Raider defensive line.
First down and 10, Scots. Sexton at quarterback, under center, handoff. Freeman, and he gets nowhere fast. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. High school football on the Time Warner Cable Network is brought to you by your friends at Alltel, by our friends at First Health Richmond Memorial Hospital, by the North Carolina Speedway, by John Boy Nissan, by O'Toole's Food and Fuel, and by Superior Cranes Incorporated. Second down and 10 now for Scotland.
Look for a rollout option or a pass from Sexton.
Sexton from the shotgun. He'll take it on a delay. There's a flag comes in. It's either holding or a face mask by the official. It's a hold.
And Jesse Love, the left guard, as he tried to stop the nose guard, Darnell Standback from shooting the gap. Darnell shot through from behind. Love tried to hook him, and that's where the hold penalty comes from.
Richmond will either take third down and 10 or second down and 20.
Well, you're not so late in the game that you have to worry about getting possession of the ball, so you might want to push him back.
Yeah, field position very important in this game. You move him back in this case.
We have holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down.
If you're talking the last 5 minutes and you're down by 7 points,
you want the ball
behind the penalty, you want the ball. Here, push them back, get great field position. You want to have them make a mistake because they're looking at second, 20, second, 22, which means most likely they're going to throw. They've already got 2 picks already tonight.
Both picks, interestingly enough, coming inside the Richmond 20. So the defense has come up big right when Scotland appeared to be ready to score.
Easily this could be 21-0 Scotland to start the third quarter.
Second down and 23 yards. This is a direct snap to Mitchell. He tries to turn the corner right side, missed tackles. He does get back about 9 yards. So it'll be third down and about 13 for the Scotland Scots. Another direct snap there to Mitchell. That worked pretty well in the first half.
Worked better for Scotland than it did Richmond. It was Richmond's one interception of the first half, and they had direct snap back to Baucom, who's playing a tailback. Now third and 14. You've got a little bit more you can do. If you get enough time, he can roll out and he can pass. But not pass deep, just enough to make it fourth and short.
4 wides. They flood the pattern. Pass complete. Not for a first down. Big tackle there by Chris Ingram.
Again, that's what you want him to play. Don't be greedy. You got fourth and short. You're in Richmond territory. You can take your time. All kind of things you can do here. Great protection. Sexton has plenty of time. This sophomore is cool as the other side of the pillow. And T.J. Gaines just sets a little hole. It's a little hook, a little button hook. He finds a little gap between the safety and the quarterback, sets down, looks for the ball.
Fourth down and a long 2. Call it 3 yards.
Give it to Freeman.
Quick throw. It's caught. And that'll be a first down for the Scots just over the 30-yard line. That was all timing there.
It's a great setup play, too. They're throwing the short passes in the flats, the button hooks. They're setting up the Richmond defensive backs to go deep. Again, they may try to do it with Mitchell, the tailback. Plenty of time, no pressure.
Catch made by J.R. Simmons right there.
Great passing formation by Sexton. The coaches say when you throw, reach with your hand like you're taking change out of your left pocket. That's what he did. Completed the delivery.
First down and 10, Scotland. Movement up front. I think this is a little extra start there by the right guard or right tackle.
You can call his name. You did a good job in the first half.
Mateo Amaluega, you got me that time. Amoyologo.
Oh, yeah, that's what you say.
Amoyologo for 78, 6'3", 280. Doggone it, you shot the spotlight on it. There it goes. There's Cameron's Sexton's passing in the second half. He had one completion for 24 yards in the first half.
Start on the offense. Replay the down.
He's doubled his completions here in the second half and one in the first half. He's connected with the white-shirted receivers 3 times and the gold-colored receivers twice.
14 extra yards passing this half. Not quite the number of yards that he would want, but some completions there. And frankly, you're not so concerned with the yardage total as long as they're converting third downs. That's a big thing.
And chewing up the clock. We're already halfway through the third quarter.
First and 15. Quarterback still has it. Actually, that's Mitchell again on the direct snap going left.
It's deja vu all over again. What did we see in second and long? The direct snap to Mitchell, the tailback.
A little bit of a delay. Takes it himself. He's not a passer, but we can tell the Raiders are being attacked in the B gaps, and Angela Mallon down on the field watching that closely.
Well, guys, it looks to me like the line is slanting. What's happening is the B gap is left wide open, and Scotland's taking advantage of that. And we can see right now that they're having trouble. The B gap's open. They're taking advantage of it, and all we can do is see what happens from here on out.
Raiders can see that attack is coming to there. Thank you, Angela. And they see another successful pass. This one to T.J. Gaines. And as Angela demonstrates to us, that little run opens up the passing lanes on the outside.
Well-developed play as Gaines stood on the sidelines, let the Raider defenders drop back as the wide receivers took everyone deep. He set in a dead spot. They allowed Sexton to roll out, get away from the Richmond pressure. Nice little pass for the first down. Nice little 13-yard gain, and now Scotland is driving, and Richmond just jumped off sides. Danelle stand back. And on 1st and 5, Ryan, that opens up the whole playbook.
Certainly down inside the 10 it does. This ball is going to be put down inside the 15-yard line all the way down to, it looks like, the 12.
Dead ball, encroachment. On the defense, repeat the down.
Ryan, if you're a Richmond fan, you remember the last 2 years when Richmond played Scotland at Scotland. Richmond trailed at halftime 3 years straight. Richmond pulled out comeback victories in both those games. But so far, their offense hasn't showed much to believe they can do that in this game.
There's signs of life. Freeman to the right side. This one goes off the right tackle, close to that B gap that Angela's been watching. And everything is, they're keeping it outside the guards, running right through the tackle areas.
Corey Sweeney's got to fill in that gap. That's what you asked out of your middle linebacker. The nose guard, which is Danelle Standback, he's got to fill in, he's got to push the center. But your linebackers have to fill in gaps and they have to make tackles. And he's making the tackle, but Freeman is dragging him for 3 or 4 yards a carry.
2nd down and 4. Freeman again, this time B-gap left side. He pushes the pile further forward.
So we're seeing some fatigue on the Richmond defense. They're spending a lot of time on the field. And they're committing to bringing the safeties up. Both Breeden and Whitley are coming up and giving run coverage here, which will leave Richmond vulnerable if Sexton tries to pass to the tight end or a slant pattern in the end zone.
Little play action goes a long way. 3rd down and a yard. Freeman right side. He'll have the 1st down inside, or close to, inside the 10, down close to the 7.
Nice play by Tavon Morrison as he fought off the block of Michael Moody. And it's going to be 4th and well, the length of the football.
Wow, he did not get the 1st down. I thought he had it. Tough angle for us. 4th down, very short, but definitely 4-down territory unless they want to get 10 points.
You're not thinking of a field goal. They're not even going to discuss it, which means number 33 is going to get the football.
Okay, they're actually going to call a timeout. I saw Sexton turn to the official and say, when it hits 1 second, we want timeout. So Scotland wants to talk things over. They just want to make sure their offensive options are all accounted for and make sure everybody on that team is on the same page for the play after the timeout. 4th down and a yard. The Raiders are also hoping that everybody's on the same page here, because the last 2 times Scotland was on the threshold, the Raiders intercepted passes. Pretty sure it'll be a run play, but we will see. 4:31 as you see left. 7-0 Scots in the 3rd quarter. Raiders defense has to come up big here as the Fighting Scots have a 4th and 1 from the 7-yard line. Power rushing formation. Everything built to the right side. Handoff. Freeman stood up, but he dives forward for the 1st down.
Again,
and there's a little emotion by Mark Barnes.
Again, the ability of Freeman to slide off the tackle and fall forward for an extra 2 yards.
It actually wasn't Mark Barnes doing the signaling, but he's on the sidelines. So that's big for Freeman.
Ryan, with 4.5 minutes to go, a touchdown would really make things pretty nice for those Fighting Scot fans, because Richmond's offense has not contributed anything tonight. They're going to go power I until they think they can get in the end zone.
Yeah, everything's going to be rushed from here on out. Here's Freeman. The hole closes up there. He gets dragged down just shy of the goal line.
Again, Tavon Morrison, we've called his name so much tonight, doing a great job of that defensive end position.
Morrison keeps him from scoring, and now it's 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Looks pretty bleak. Well, the Raiders have to fill some gaps here and blow through somebody. Coaching staff says, get tough.
They're wearing out. It's not so much the size or the speed of the Scotland offensive line, but it is the size of Bruce Freeman.
It's the pounding. Freeman to the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Scotland. And that side is going crazy.
Well, it's been 7 years since they walked away from playing Richmond with a victory.
There you see a little emotion for Mark Barnes. That's a huge, huge lead in a game like this.
Important extra point coming up.
Player down in the end zone for the Scots. Moses gets ready to line up for that extra point.
feels like an upper body injury, as we see nothing with the extremities.
Checking an ankle, right ankle.
You got to go with the game plan that Mark Barnes had tonight. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew he could run between the tackles and open some things up at Richmond. You've also given credit to go with this young sophomore quarterback in the second half. He had thrown 2 interceptions, had only connected 1 time with his teammates, but he felt enough confidence, this young man, to be able to let him pass this drive, because the passes he was able to complete winds up in a big touchdown for the Fighting Scots. And you kind of wonder if that monkey is off their back. It's been 1994 since they've been able to beat Richmond.
After all this stuff in the baseball playoffs, I don't want to hear about monkeys.
No more monkeys? All right.
Bruce Freeman has scored both touchdowns for Scotland. The only scores of the ball game, a 6-yard run in the second quarter, and now a 1-yard run in the third quarter, as we see the Scott linemen come off the field.
T.J. Clark, who is their right tackle.
An important cog. Clark will get attention on the sidelines, as I mentioned. Philip Moses lines up for the extra point to make this a 14-0 game.
This is important, because you're going to, if you can score here, you're going to make Richmond score at least twice, and maybe gamble for a 2-point conversion if they can score twice.
The extra point is good. So Scotland leads this very important ball game by 2 touchdowns. And for once this season, the Raiders are being shut out. 3:33 left in the third. The threes are wild, as you see. Number 33 has scored a pair of touchdowns. More football, and the Raiders get the ball back after this. Scots. Richmond creeps up for the pooch punt. This is the perfect time to kick it deep here. There's no one back there. If Moses has the leg, this is the time to do it.
Just pound it out. You're right.
He's not taking a very deep set with it. But if he had it, this would be the time to do it. He squibs it. Catch is made. The tackle is made. And that's where the Marcus Rush is put down up around the 31-yard line.
And again, fans, there is no halo in high school football. You have to give them the opportunity to catch the ball. And again, that is not a free ball. If it's in the air, the receiving team has to at least catch it. If it's on the ground, it's a free ball. Difference between college ball and high school football. And it'd be interesting to see who's the quarterback. We see Jamar Bryant. Will Richmond feel the pressure that they've got to go to the air and open things up with 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, down 2 touchdowns?
Crump to the right, Allen to the left. This ball goes straight up the middle from Bryant, and he'll get about 8 yards on the carry up to the 40-yard line.
Nice tackle by Hiley Taylor, the defensive tackle for the Fighting Scots.
So now with second down and a long yard, the Raiders can open up the playbook a little bit.
Will Mark Barnes change his defense? He's got 7 men at the line of scrimmage. Will he continue to do that to stop the rushing attack of Richmond?
Allen to the right, Crump to the left. Hand off, up the middle. And here's Rush. And he gets up to midfield. Clock stopped for the chains to move. Rush, about a 10-yard gain.
Marcus Freeman and Kendrick McClain the free safety. Coming over the tackle, and for the rare time, Richmond's starting to go in Scotland territory. Remember, their deepest penetration so far this game has been the Scotland 37-yard line.
That's when they threw an interception. The first interception of the season.
Big play on first down. They've got to get positive yardage here.
Got to get to midfield, or back. The line of scrimmage is midfield, and this is a quarterback delay.
Hiley Taylor, one more time.
Little draw play that doesn't get anywhere because of Taylor.
Number 40 also coming in, the inside linebacker, Doug Edwards, who's playing a stand-up defensive end position. It's called a slots defense because they're putting 5 guys up there. And the most important thing we've seen out of Scotland tonight is how they have stopped Richmond on first down. Because on second and long, Richmond's playbook becomes a lot more restricted.
3 receivers for Bryant. Backs up, looking for receiver right side. He's got the tight end, Alfonso, down to the 41-yard line. Scotland says they took it away. Alfonso says he was down.
Doug Edwards stripped it away, but after Alfonso's knee had hit the ground, and bring up 3rd and short.
Plenty down in a couple of yards, and yeah, you're right.
Bryant had plenty of time in the decision. He could look over all the potential receivers on that play.
If he had even more time, he had a man downfield. 3rd down and 2. Rush to the right side. He will have it. It'll be across the 40. We'll stop the clock with 1:13.
Chesley Chavis getting on the initial hit. And again, he is playing the other stand-up defensive end, normally a linebacker position. But they feel like they can stop Richmond's rush by putting 5 guys on the line of scrimmage.
1st down Raiders. Ball spotted on the 39-yard line. This drive really not eating that much clock. They've only had the ball about 2 minutes. 1st down. Bryant takes it himself, open on the left side. He tries to turn the corner, and he's taken down, but not after a gain of 13 yards for 1st down. Ball spotted near the 27-yard line.
He actually flipped Kendrell Harley, the defender. He gave more punishment than he received on that throw. And you hear the crowd stirring just a little bit in the background. They've seen comebacks so many times here on Raider Field.
Looking for a little magic out of the gold jerseys. Inside the 30. Rush. Won't get far. He might get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard.
Ryan, that was a very slow handoff there. I don't know if Jamar could make up his mind whether he was going to bring it back, run it himself, but it seemed like the ball took a long time in the exchange from him to Rush. And again, Scotland puts Richmond in a 2nd and long situation. Important to get positive yards here to close out the 3rd quarter to keep the momentum of the crowd behind you.
2nd and 9. 2 receivers right. Fake the handoff. A little bit of holding there. The flag flies. The catch is made. This play will not count. Down to the 10-yard line. The crowd's not going to be happy with this. Holding in the backfield, it was pretty obvious.
Nice catch by Jordan Watts, but the hold in the backfield by Covington kind of ruins what would have been a big play and would have put Richmond into the red zone for the first time tonight.
But if he doesn't hold, Bryant gets sacked, so it was necessary.
Either way.
Lose the yardage.
Well, you got to do that.
This way they get the down back. So,
and I have to say this, people have been bringing this all year. The young man, number 89, Jordan Watts, I know a little bit about him.
Oh, yeah.
Inside information.
Oh, yeah. You know what he had for dinner tonight.
Oh, yes.
We have holding on the offense. Follow the foul behind the line of scrimmage. The foul will be marked from that spot.
And it is way behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you're out there in front of everybody, and everyone in the crowd and the official could pick it up. And you know, this Watts kid, he's almost as good as his daddy was when he played ball.
Stop.
Thank you, thank you.
Might as well be Al Bundy. Back to the 45-yard line. 1.9 seconds left. The clock will run. And it will run out the end of the 3rd quarter. So the teams will move just 10 yards. But the Raiders now have to move, oh my goodness, 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 26. After the quarter break, and they need 2 scores because Scotland leads heading into the 4th quarter, 14-0. 14 for Scotland, nothing for Richmond. 2nd down and 26.
Ryan, in this situation, you just want to pick up about 10 yards. Don't try to pick up the first. Just make it a little easier on 3rd down. And then you can go 4 on 4.
Jamar Bryant from center. Handoff. Shavon Simmons, I should say. He moves the pile forward about 4 yards, so they didn't get to 10.
Well, we talked about how big momentum was. In the last play of the 3rd quarter, you negate a big passing play with a holding penalty. And you hear the deflation of this crowd back here. That excitement is kind of waning now because you're looking at 3rd and forever. And Richmond has not thrown deep the entire night.
Take the handoff. Bryant looking for his lone receiver down there. Picked off. Scotland takes the ball away. Big play by the Scots.
Kendrell Harley.
And he has been everywhere.
Kendrell knew to step in front of the receiver, right in front of Tony Horns, timed it just perfectly. Jamar taking an extra second to delivery, and that's why he had the time to pick the ball off.
A first down saving play by the defense, the second interception of a Richmond quarterback today. Both of the Richmond quarterbacks have thrown their first pick of the year, and it couldn't have come with any worse timing than it has.
Well, you're really looking at essentially a punt because it was 3rd and forever, so it's not that bad a situation. But the defense has to answer the call for Richmond. They got to put pressure. They know the ball is going to go to number 33, so that defensive line has got to plug up every gap from here on out.
Got to try to score if they can, take the ball away and put points in of their own. But that last drive by Scotland really showed that all that time on the field has really paid off.
That's true. Time management here. If you can get them at 3 and out, you can get the ball with about 9.5 minutes to go. You still got 3 timeouts. It's plenty of time. But you can't score 2 touchdowns on 1 possession. You got to get the ball back. You got to get that first touchdown.
And you can't. It's going to be hard to score a touchdown on defense if Scotland doesn't throw the ball, which they won't.
Well, they're going to plug. You got to plug the gaps. Got to keep Freeman from picking up 3 to 5 yards a carry.
Only a yard gain on first down, and Scotland wasting every ounce of clock they can. Pitch back. This time it's to Mitchell, and he turns the corner. I think he's got it. We'll see where he went out of bounds.
The official says he does have it.
He does have it. That's a big first down for number 2, Daryl Mitchell.
Well, defensively, you get the team in the position you want. They're keying on Freeman. The pitch back to Mitchell. Great up block on Ingram by Freeman. And that allows him to cut the corner and pick up the first down.
He was the leading rusher in the game against Lumberton with 33 yards. But other than that, in the remaining games he's played in this season, he has just 21 yards. Today, Mitchell.
Well, they've known they've been able to ride Freeman. They have rode his coach for the last 4 games, and that's why you've seen decreased carries for Mitchell in the tailback position.
26 yards rushing on 7 carries today. Pitch back, Mitchell again. They're going to let him get some carries. This time he's taken down at the 45-yard line. No gain on the play, maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9, but the Raiders can't do anything right now about that. Their biggest enemy at this point, and that's that ticking, running thing up in the left corner of your screen.
It's true. Great tackle, great carry by Corey Sweeney, and also coming in Levander Thomas. But you're right, the clock. Again, if you can stop him here. This is 2 straight plays, We've had them 2nd and long. You can't let them slide off the hook. They got to fill in the gaps. The linebackers have to be able to cut things out. Freeman, it's only 53 yards, but it's been a big 53 yards tonight for the Scots.
Both touchdowns. That's the biggest number. Mitchell slips out of the backfield. That hurt him to try to get to the corner. The Raiders swallow him up. A flag flies behind the play, and that helps Richmond because it stops the clock. If it's a hold, now you have a tough decision to make because you got him down 3rd down and 7.
Then now you would decline the penalty. It's a hold. I would decline it, give it to him 3rd and long.
Well, it looks like they're going to push him back.
Well,
they'll give him the down back. Well, let's see. I'm with you. I decline this. 3rd down and 7.
I think that's what they're going to do.
Holding against the offense. 10 yards. Repeat the down.
Well, they're going to keep it. Smart move by Mark Barnes. He took the whole offensive backfield on the sidelines to talk to. See if we can pick up the hold. And it's trailing there on the left-hand side.
Came late.
Yep. As usual,
So
away from the play.
Yeah, they give him a free play, which gives Scotland a chance to run about 40-some more seconds off the clock, 25 seconds between this play, and then 25 more seconds after this play. So instead of 3rd and 7, it's 2nd down and 19.
Unless you can get a turnover in this situation, I believe you decline the penalty.
Pitch it back, Mitchell, right side. He's hit, but no, he keeps going all the way to the 45-yard line.
And
so it's going to be 3rd and 9, so it's a 2-yard negligible situation, but more importantly, more clock runs.
You got an injured Raider on the field also. And that's D'Antoine Whitley.
Yeah, you can't afford to lose that guy.
Again, the option play takes the time. Times are just right on the pitch. And watch the great vision by Mitchell looking for the gap. Again, great blocking downfield. T.J. Gaines there, springing it open to pick up those last 3 yards. Great seal-off back by Jesse Love there.
Whitley comes off the field with a little assistance, a little slip there. Mitchell had a little bit of slipping the last couple of plays. It's starting to get chilly out there, mid-October.
See if he rolls that ankle or how he injures himself. We'll see it from the backside.
Oh, he steps right on the receiver's leg there and kind of tweaks it.
Rolls the ankle. That's easy to do. We got the 3rd and about 11. 2 wide receivers. They'll probably go over to the weak side, the receiver, Gaines over here. He's got one-on-one coverage.
Trips to the left, and you mentioned the receiver to the right. The pass is short, and the receiver falls down, so that helps the Raiders out by stopping the clock with 8:46 left.
Corey Sweeney coming in and just getting in and causing Cameron Sexton to throw that ball a little bit earlier than he anticipated, and that's why it was a ground ball. Watch Sweeney come in between the guard and the tackle, and he just rattles the bones right here. Hello, put my helmet right between the 1 and the 8.
Well, Scotland still leads it by 2 touchdowns, and Richmond's going to need some field position here. 4th down, and here's a punt. If Richmond can get it, they might. They blocked it.
Pick it up, and you can run with it.
And here he goes.
Everett, Canetta Everett
scores the touchdown. It's 14-6. Turnabout is fair play.
Special teams. It's an old cliche, but it works. And the lead has been halved, or will be, possibly after this extra point attempt. Mo just shifted over from the west side of the stadium to the east side of the stadium.
And it was a quick jog across the field for old Mo.
Didn't even stop to get a drink of water.
8:38 left. This extra point actually carries a lot of weight with it.
For the season, Tony Swales is 29 for 32 in extra points. He has 3 misses. Probably his biggest extra point attempt of the season. They've had problems with the snap.
Spot, snap, it's low.
Short.
And short, no good. So now the Raiders will face a 2-point conversion if they're to get the ball back and score. A lot's got to happen between now and then, but almost half the damage has been done to Scotland. Scots will get the ball back. It's a game again, 14-6 with lots of time left. Stay with us. Well, Richmond has 6, and here's why. Kente Everett comes in. Well, actually, Kente Everett picks up the ball. Let's see who hits the ball. Number 9.
Daniel Ellerbe.
Ellerbe gets it. And it's a 29-yard return there for Kente Everett.
Room service hop. That's what you want on the block.
Richmond kicks it deep on the kickoff. Bobbled at the 5-yard line. Running back. The Scotland player gets tackled inside the 5-yard line.
That's Mitchell.
That's Mitchell.
He fumbled the kick, and when he looked up, he saw a wave of gold jerseys coming his way. And with Richmond's speed on special teams, you cannot go east and west. You got to go north and south. And now you're going to see Richmond pin its ears back.
There's Ellerbe. Not only does he block kicks, he makes great tackles. 1st down and 10 on the 5, and Scotland's misfortunes couldn't have turned any worse.
And Mark Barnes
the ball's
has seen
on the
this,
10.
Mark Barnes has seen this story before. 2 straight years he's had a lead going into the second half and lost to Richmond. He doesn't want to see it 3 years in a row. It will go to Freeman. They will keep it close to the vest. Freeman is actually playing tailback instead of fullback now.
And the one tenet is hold on to the football. Freeman spins his drop behind the line of scrimmage, a 2-yard loss. His job is to not fumble the football right now.
Antoine Whitley, we saw him come off the field with the ankle injury, but you know, when your team scores, those injuries just don't matter anymore.
It doesn't seem to hurt as much. Amazing how adrenaline serves as cortisone in a hurt area. Just kind of makes it all right until you go to bed.
Fans, that box on the left-hand corner of your TV screen is very important because time is the biggest enemy for the Richmond Raiders right now. They've got to stop Scotland, got to make them go 3 and kick.
One thing Scotland's got to watch out for is they give another carry to Freeman, and it doesn't go very far. The thing that's their enemy is that guy standing on the sideline with the big number 3, and that 3 stands for third down. They got to look for those yard markers. Third down at 11.
Darnell Stanback, defensive end position, shoots in and seals off number 33 Freeman. Third again in more than 10, but tonight we have seen Sexton connect on big passes in third and long situations. Will Mark Barnes throw the dice and take a gamble here?
If he does, he'll risk giving up a sack near the goal line. He will throw. Protection good. The pass overthrown and out of bounds, incomplete. Fourth down from the 9-yard line, and the Scots have to punt, and the Raiders should get excellent field position, and the clock is stopped with 7:11 left. And the Raiders sideline is standing on their feet, the fans.
Not a lot of pressure, but not a bad decision. If you haven't got an open receiver, throw it out of bounds. They don't need a turnover. Very important here for the kick. As you see, Andrew Mudd is 7 yards in the end zone. Richmond has overloaded the left side to attempt to block the punt.
Here they go. They didn't get it, and they didn't hit him.
But they pressured him.
And this punt falls at the 20. The ball's loose, and Scotland has it. What a huge mistake.
What a terrible mistake by Reggie Terry. Richmond would have had the ball on the 44-yard line of Scotland, but he tried to make something of nothing, but there's a flag on the play.
Flag on the far sideline. It's right at the line of scrimmage, which makes me think it may be a jump off sides or either a false start. I can't tell.
We'll
Maybe it's a hold
into
down
the kicker.
there. Nobody ran into the kicker, though.
Nope. Lined up offsides. If it is on Scotland,
just get out of the way. Let the ball be down at the 45.
It's on Scotland.
Scotland will get the penalty. They'll make them kick it again.
What a big
penalty. Procedure on the offense. Replay.
They guarantee you they want a new kick.
Oh, yes. I think they will accept this penalty.
That's the easiest penalty discussion of all time.
Well, we'll see the difference. Scotland would have had the ball on their own 40-yard line.
New life for the Raiders.
Well, that Raider magic may be working again. We shall see. And again, we'll see the pressure.
Terry won't get anywhere near this ball if someone's in the area.
You kind of wonder. There's a lot of choices to Mark Barnes. Some coaches in the situation will take a safety and get a better kick.
Right.
But you've still got 7 minutes to go. It's too early to think of that option.
Safety gives you that two-point conversion that they don't have. And so.
But you're going to give Richmond the ball on their side of the field. You're going to give them the short field. So you can't really quibble with either strategy at this time.
There's the kick. Not a very good one.
And they're going to clear away from this time.
This one stops at the 40, 39-yard line.
And one thing which might have gone in Mark Barnes' mind is they've been pooch kicked. So Richmond would have had a good field position even if you give them the safety. You kick from the 20 and pooch kick, they're still going to be on about the 40 or midfield. So I applaud the strategy of going ahead and kicking the ball.
Sure, let Richmond hit your kicker and give yourself an automatic first down. High school football and this exciting game on Time Warner Cable Sports brought to you by our friends at Alltel. Piedmont Shearwine Bottling Company. Clearwater Productions. And by Time Warner Cable Sports. First play from scrimmage for the Raiders, a handoff to the fullback, number 22, Shavon Simmons. Not Simmons. Shavon Simmons is 25. Who's wearing 22 today? No idea.
Normally, 22 is not in school book.
Exactly.
It might be Zanny Gladden. He may have changed his jersey. You would assume he's the backup fullback, so that's most likely who that is. Remember, Richmond's offense hasn't scored on Scotland, so the defense has got to feel pretty good about this drive.
Fake the pitch. Well, he doesn't even fake the pitch. He just takes it himself. That's Bryant. Clock still running. It will be third down at about 6. Maybe Angela can find out who number 22 is for us. Bryant comes out.
He's taking a lot of time because he's coming to the sideline to get the play, so that's burning 30 seconds.
Third down and 7.
It looks like Jamar was actually looking downfield for a block and did not see Kendrick McClain shoot in from that safety position.
Big play here from the shotgun. Bryant keeps it. Ready to unload. Throws downfield. It is caught by Kenneth Allen. But he's short of the first down. You got to go for it here.
Oh, no doubt.
Under 5.5 minutes to go.
Been everything we thought it was, Ryan.
And then some. And I wouldn't speak about this game in the past tense yet. There's still a lot of future events to occur. 5 minutes worth.
Well, Richmond's going to call a timeout because this may be the biggest play of their season so far.
Let's stop and take a timeout and gather ourselves as well. 4th down and 2 when we come back. 5 minutes to go, and this one the Raiders trail by 8.
Going without a huddle, Ryan.
14-6, 5 minutes to go. 4th down and 2.
They're going to run an option. They're going to try and get Jamar Bryant outside. They think one-on-one he can break free and get the first.
He's going to throw it.
Oh, low, slow.
Incomplete. No flags come in, and the pass had no zip on it. And Greg Crump couldn't pull it in, and Scotland takes over. 1st down and 10. So now the defense has got to do it again.
Got to get that throw off a lot quicker than that. You can pump fake on that situation, but it's hard to throw that diagonal pass on 4th and short. Richmond now with 2 timeouts. And you see just a little over 5 minutes to go. It is imperative that they stop Scotland on 3rd and out. 3 and out. They've got to do that.
Oh, there's our Superior Cranes shot for John Casey up there tonight, and that's what it looks like from way up there. It's a little chilly up there too. Hand off. The rusher has stood up. That's Freeman.
And I have no doubts that's what Mark Barnes is going to do. You're going to get 3 healthy doses of Bruce Freeman because they have the lead, and defensively they've stopped Richmond's offense all night long.
Second down and 10 now as you see number 32 for the Scots. That's Bruce Freeman in there.
You got Mitchell back as the single back, as like old wing T.
Straight snap to Mitchell. The defense can't find him, but he doesn't get very far.
Tavon Mitchell had him in the backfield and just, again, an arm tackle, slid out and picked up 3 good yards here. Well, Mark Barnes passed. Again, I would think that he is going to run the ball on 3rd and long and trust his defense to shut Richmond down. If Richmond can stop them, they'll get the ball with about 3.5 minutes to go, but they've got to stop them on 3rd down.
Yeah, this is a huge defensive play here, and the Raiders on offense have to march down like they did before and try to get it in.
And if Richmond gets the ball back, do not be surprised if Ryan Baucom is not your quarterback.
There's a pass play on 3rd down and long. He overthrew his receiver. And that stops the clock. This is the 3rd time on 3rd and long they passed incomplete and stopped the clock to help the Raiders.
And like I said, 3.5 minutes to go. You got 2 timeouts, plenty of time for Richmond.
I don't think anyone has left this ball game. There are a few cars leaking out.
Well, our audience is not going to leave.
No. Look at all the fans still here. Game still in doubt.
Richmond will set up for the return, but they're coming in with the block.
It's punt much better. Whitley lets it bounce, and the Raiders clear away from it. And it's down at the 37-yard line. So the Raiders have 63 yards and a 2-point conversion to go in 3 minutes and 29 seconds in order to try to tie the game up.
Who's your quarterback?
You said it would be Jamar Bryant. It is.
Well, you're going to see Baucom out there. I would not be surprised to see Baucom take the snap and Jamar at wide receiver. And that's exactly what we're going to see.
All right. First down and 10. Baucom from the shotgun. Rolls left. Throws against his body. Complete. What a catch at midfield. The clock stops for the chains to move, and Kenneth Allen reels it in. A 12-yard catch for a first down.
Great protection, great decision to roll out Baucom, and a great pass. Watch Baucom. He waits and gets his legs behind him again. Great delivery, zings the ball in. He's a big Brett Favre fan.
Yeah, and a big zing, too. You hit it right on the head. He's now 4 for 8, 20 yards passing. 1 pick. Baucom again, rolls right, lots of receivers out there. This one's caught, and the runner got to get out of bounds at that point across the 40-yard line. The clock stops again for the chains to move. Guess what? Kenneth Allen. At some point, Scotland's got to know where 4 is.
They're also going to make a decision. Are we going to blitz the linebackers, or are we going to drop back extra defensive backs? You got to choose your poison. Which direction you go in here. So far, they've got the extra defensive back in, and they're not putting pressure on Baucom throwing the ball.
4 catches, 32 yards. He has this team high with 21 catches now, 260 yards this season, 4 touchdowns, none today, though.
Got the best hands of any of the receivers on this team.
Baucom again from the shotgun, going upfield, coming back for it, incomplete, looking for Greg Crump,
who was just a little too early, did not wait for Crump to turn and go towards the sideline. A big decision
Jamar
here.
Bryant, actually.
A big decision for Baucom here is don't get greedy. A 2nd and 10, you got 2 timeouts, and you've got to take your time. Don't go downfield. Don't go for the touchdown now. You've got plenty of time. Take it 5, 10 yards at a cut.
Baucom's passing today, 50%. Following a 76% passing day last week. This one's caught by Allen. He slips and trips, and he's down over to the 35-yard line. Just under 3 minutes to go. No panic in. The only thing you got to worry about right now is the 3rd down situation.
Tried to make this move on Marcus Freeman. They're dropping back Freeman and Streeter and the other linebackers. So you've basically got 7 men back and only 4 rushing. That's why Baucom's having enough time, but Baucom now is at the wide receiver position with Jamar Bryant.
Nope.
No, Baucom's still there.
Going to throw it downfield.
Caught by Bryant.
He whipped open, and he's got a touchdown. Baucom to Bryant. A 36-yard touchdown pass. Are you kidding me? And now the Raiders are in a huge situation. A 2-point conversion would tie it. And Baucom is 7 for 12, and the Raiders have to think about this one.
Yeah, got to burn a timeout here.
A 3-yard pass or run is what you need to tie this ball game with 2:17 left, and Bryant makes a great breakaway move to get away from the receiver. 36 yards.
Ryan O'Mo is getting whiplash. He's going from one side of the field to the other. Well, here's the decision. 3 yards. Do you change and you go back to your faster quarterback, which is Jamar Bryant, run him out of the spread offense and let him use his speed to get outside, or you stick with the hot hand and let Jamar Bryant and try to run a pick? Let 2 receivers cross on one side, bring one, or more importantly, go to your tight end. That was a size. You don't realize the size of Jamar Bryant, how big it is. He is 6'3", just under 200 pounds, and he takes the hit and just throws him off. And they're not going to catch him from behind. Well, Ryan, this will be the game. This will be the play which will determine who will be Mid-Southeastern Conference champ this year. It will all come back. We will look back in December at this play, and it will determine who gets to Carter Finley Stadium and who sits home.
Jamar Bryant is your quarterback. Shavon Simmons, the fullback, and number 22 is Marcus Rush. He had to change jerseys for some reason.
Jersey was most likely torn. They don't have him in the spread.
High formation. Handoff. No, Bryant still has it. Looking for the end zone. Caught!
High!
We're tied! Greg Crump in the back of the end zone on a brilliant play fake from Jamar Bryant.
The patience of the junior, taking his time, pressure breathing down his back. The linebacker blitzing, watch. He takes his time. He never hurries. He never waits. Doug Edwards, the inside linebacker, but throws the beautiful strike to number 80, Greg Crump. And we're all tied up.
Bryant to Crump for 2. The Raiders have scored 14 points in the last 6 minutes and 35 seconds. And we're tied. 2:17 left. Everything going the Raiders' way. Scotland will get the ball perhaps when we come back. Unbelievable. With 8:42 left, the Raiders run back a punt block, and then with 2:17, Bryant with the touchdown reception. This kick looks like it's deep. And the Scots have it on their 12.
Last thing you need is a big return of your Raider fan.
Return by number 20, Lamont McIntyre.
Okay,
and the Scots have it inside their 30-yard line on the 28, but the Richmond defense has played very well in the last 3 series.
Well, 2 timeouts remaining for the Scots. You got 2 and 9, plenty of time. But will he have the time to pass? You've asked Sexton to pass, but it's because of the success of Freeman running up the middle. Now, Richmond knows they're going to try and pass, but they've got to get at least to the Richmond 20-yard line to give an opportunity for a kick by Andrew Mudd. At the same time, you've got to be conservative if you're Scotland. An interception here is the last thing you want to see, so you would think they would run and take their chances in the overtime.
Pitch back, Mitchell trying to turn the corner. Everett there, not Everett. The Raiders number 9.
And the clock keeps running, Ryan.
Danelle Ellerbe, and it ticks under 2 minutes.
He didn't get out of bounds. Big mistake. You lose yardage, and the clock keeps running. Great penetration of Richmond. Corey Sweeney's just shooting up the gap between the center of the guard and the outside linebacker. Danielle Ellerbe just shooting off the tackle and causing him to be, and actually making the tackle in the backfield and running the clock. 94 seconds left.
Second down at about 15. Make the handoff. They're going to pass. Going downfield. Lots of defenders there. Overthrown, and the clock stops.
And remember, Richmond has a timeout left.
83 seconds left. Third down and 13.
You've got to run the ball, because if you pass and get the incomplete pass, you can get Richmond the ball with the timeout.
In a minute.
With
About
a minute
to go.
And your kicking has not exactly been exemplary tonight for the Fighting Scots. They've had problems with their kicks. You really are putting Mark Barnes in a situation here. When you run the ball, try to run the clock, but you forego any opportunity of getting a first down, when you take a chance and pass, the incomplete pass, or a pass which is not a first down, stops the clock. They're going to use the last timeout.
Scotland didn't like what they saw, and they're going to talk about it. Boy, if you would have stripped out a great ball game, it probably looked a lot like this one.
That's what we talked about. Special teams, turnovers, the ability of Scotland to run at the middle. Richmond going to the air. Everything we asked for at the beginning of this game has come to fruition.
Well, I can't take credit for that. That's all you, buddy.
Hey.
All right, let's step aside. 76 seconds left, and Scotland has a big decision to make. Third down and 13. We'll be back. Third down and deep.
Wide
incomplete. He absolutely was wide open.
A great play as Lamont McIntyre circled out from the tailback position. He had the first down, but again, you're asking a lot of a sophomore quarterback. That's a touch throw. Great deliveries. He throws over the linebackers, but underneath the defensive backs.
He didn't
just
follow,
a little too early.
Yeah, he didn't follow all the way through, and it sailed on him. Watch this.
This big kick. Will Richmond try to block the kick or set up for the return?
And flags fly. If it's Richmond, it won't be a first down situation.
And the clock does not move.
1:11 left. They will huddle. Now let's see which captain they talk to.
No, they first discuss it amongst themselves.
Right. Let's see if they talk to the captain.
It's against Scotland. Legal procedure. Pushing back.
Encroachment on the defense. Costly penalty if it's a 4-yard and 4th down and 4 situation, but here just say, guys, we know you want to block the punt, but wait on the snap.
Yeah, I would more or less set up for the return, because you've got a timeout.
Encroachment, defense, 5 yards, replay the down.
I'm not going for the block here. Set up for the return. If you set up for the return, you could possibly get the ball at midfield. And as hot as Baucom has been, you can get in position for a field goal, win the game in regulation.
Andrew Mudd gets it away. Terry lets it bounce.
This. No.
Clock keeps running. 1:02, 1:01, 1 minute. 60 seconds. And the Raiders have it on their 27-yard line. You've got to get, I'm sorry, that's the Yeah, 27-yard line. The Raiders have to go 73 yards in 60 seconds.
Well, turnover here would be disastrous. Richmond already has given up the ball twice on interceptions. So do you play for overtime? Do you take it easy, take a knee, or you take a gamble? You're really going to have to get the ball at least to the 20-yard line to give a decent attempt for a kick by Tony Swales, who has not connected on the field goal so far this year.
Baucom pump fake, lets her fly downfield, hangs this one up, incomplete. A lot of contact, but it was pretty much incidental to the football. Fans want a flag, but both guys were muscling to the football there. Nothing wrong with that. 5 seconds tick off. And the Raiders have it 2nd down and 10.
Well, they were wanting that more in their hearts than in their minds. Great fake. Fakes to the left side, throws to the right. Still pressure by Scotland. The ball hangs up just a little bit longer. They're wanting Jamar Bryant's great jumping ability to come back. They want a jump ball, and they think he can come down with the football. The middle is open with a timeout. You can go throwing across the middle.
He gets it to Crump. Crump is taken out of bounds. The clock stops. He's forced out near the 35-yard line. So a gain of about 8. Okay, maybe 6.
Ryan, they play a single back. They've got one safety playing deep center field. So if you throw underneath him between the linebackers, there's a dead spot which is open. So they've got a timeout. You can take a chance. You can throw across the middle and not worry about the clock. But if they don't get first down, I'm pretty sure they will kick.
3rd down. Baucom rolls left, throws upfield, caught by Crump. He heads to the sideline. And he gets out of bounds after he sidesteps one defender. He gets into Scott territory. Clock stops with 43.2 seconds left. And he gets out of bounds at the Raider 49-yard line. Great play by Crump. He is stepping up here in the 4th quarter.
Caught the ball, did not pick up the first down, but great work. Tiptoeing down the sideline. Watch this footwork. Fred Astaire would be astounded. Great block up top also. Down the sidelines, so he's finally pushed out of bounds by Dewan Monroe.
3 catches, 23 yards. Here goes upfield. They throw it to Allen.
How do you call your timeout? Up the middle's open. Call the timeout, spike the ball.
Clock stops for the chains to move, get the offense ready. Great pass by Baucom. He's feeling it. It's like he doesn't see the defense or he doesn't care.
You're going to call the timeout now. They're going to use their last one.
He's now 10 for 16, 117 yards. They're not going to call the timeout. The clock starts. 36 seconds. They've either called a play.
They're not going to spike it. They're going
to run the play. Here's Baucom. Rolling right. Got a man open and Crump upfield.
Nice
decision. Let it go. Out of bounds.
Nice decision.
Oh, the flag comes out. We'll see what this is all about.
It could be pass interference. In high school football, you do not have an uncatchable pass. If it's interference, it's interference. We will see.
Very interested in this call.
That or a lineman downfield. It's against Richmond. Mark Barnes is hoping so, as you see him thumbing backwards. Grounding.
Intentional grounding on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's also lost the down.
But you don't lose any clock time. If he'd been sacked, the clock would have run out. That would have gone into overtime. That's not a bad penalty. You're just giving up 5 yards. You do not have the tackle area. That's true. You don't have the tackle area. You get outside and throw it. In high school football, if the judgment of the officials, you have thrown it to avoid a sack, that is grounding. Unlike college, unlike high school, college and pro, where if you get outside the tight end or outside the tackle, you can throw it away, at least past the line of scrimmage. That penalty is not a high school football rule.
And that's because the pro and college game, a little bit more sophisticated. They want to take a lot of judgment calls out of the officials' hands.
Not a bad penalty, because he was sacked. It was the end of the game.
Baucom from midfield, rolls left. He's going to heave it all the way downfield. Bryant is there. He tipped.
He got it! He got it!
He caught it on the toe! Are you kidding me?
Gotta spike it! Don't celebrate! Gotta spike it, folks!
14 seconds left. The clock's
get the chain. They got that last timeout.
Hang on, everybody. We still got 14 seconds left.
Use that last timeout. What a catch. What a catch. He tipped the ball to himself. The official crucial.
He kept it alive.
He kept it alive. The Scotland player tipped it. He tipped it to himself. What is Mark Barnes thinking about? I have seen this 2 years in a row, he said. I've gone in the second half against Richmond.
Watch this.
Watch it. Great, plenty of time. Great throw. Again, if it's a jump ball, he'll bring it down. Tips it to himself.
Well, the defender never got it.
Well, it actually went off his arm. Rolled off his arm. What a great camera shot from John Casey and a superior crane shot. Watch again. It will glance off the shoulder of the defender. It's a jump ball, and the basketball player brings it down.
Perfect.
Right off his shoulder.
And what great concentration. The best ball handler on the team. And Jamar Bryant pulls it in now.
But Ryan, do you go for the field goal? Do you go for the field goal? They missed the extra point. So, you know, the kicking team is suspect.
Well, let's see him pound it in. I think they're going to go for it on the ground.
Yeah, but 14 seconds. If you don't get out of bounds,
well,
if you don't throw, you've got to throw a pass in the end zone. It's either a touchdown or an incomplete pass,
right,
or the game runs out.
Well,
he cannot be sacked.
That's why Ryan Baucom is in there in passing formation. He's got Shavon Simmons to his left.
Quick pass, even if he's called for grounding, you're in great position for a field goal. So he's got to throw within 3 seconds of getting the ball.
Horns in Crump to the left, Allen and Bryant to the right, and he's
touchdown!
Touchdown!
Richmond, what a comeback!
21 points, well, 20 so far in the fourth quarter with 9.8 seconds left. Bryant pulls it in. Why not? He made the long catch. Let him make the touchdown catch. His second touchdown catch of the day, not throw. And Ryan Baucom still has the magic.
Ed Emory said we don't have a quarterback controversy because they both play. Big receiving plays by Jamar Bryant. Big passing plays by Ryan Baucom. Captain comeback at work.
Unbelievable. Swales for the extra point. The spot, the kick, it's up, it's good, and the Raiders lead 21-14 with 9.8 seconds to go. I cannot believe what we have seen here tonight. Here's the
fade pattern. Crump comes up with a big score. Look, the time. Nice delivery. Throws it on the outside shoulder of the receiver. Give that man 6.
He's the only man that could have come down with it, and the Raiders have the most improbable comeback in recent memory. The squib kick, 7 seconds left, and Scotland falls on it. They'll have time to run one big play. 6 seconds to go. Ernest.
Well, Richmond's going to drop 2 safeties back deep. They're going to stand on the 30-yard line of Richmond, and they're not going to let anybody get past it.
I've been broadcasting games for just 10 years, but I've never seen anything like this.
Well, I've got 2 that are very close. The Richmond 49-48 009 playoff game against Crest. And, of course, Richmond winning in 1990 on a tipped ball. But this ranks up with the top 5. It has been a great game, a great comeback, and that's why this rivalry means so much.
And boy,
Scotland and Richmond.
Scotland had Richmond against the wall at halftime. Richmond couldn't figure out what's going on.
3 years in a row, Mark Barnes on the screen has gone into halftime beating Richmond. And 3 years in a row, it looks like he's going to take a defeat home.
And Baucom, who struggled mightily in the first half, just came alive in half number 2. And now we'll see if Scotland can do something with 6 seconds left.
Hey, you got to get that 11th man on the field first.
Plenty of time on the play clock. It's at 11 at 10.
They've got 7 guys playing defensive back. There's a penalty on the play.
The ball falls out of his hands, and they're calling it an incomplete pass. Flags on the play.
No tuck rule there. He didn't tuck the ball in. It hit the ground. 1.3 seconds. Ryan Baucom. Yeah, bud, you feel like you're on top of the hill. I know you do. Bring on anybody. Bring on the Raiders to play anybody right now. What a 2 weeks for that young man. He may not be Pizza Hut Player of the Week this week, but I'm pretty much sure there's a lot of Raider fans Player of the Week.
He is in this county.
The penalty is on Scotland, and they will decline.
Oh, they're moving back, probably.
Well, no, they declined the penalty. It really does. It's really inconsequential.
On the offense, 5 yards, replay, first down. On the snap.
Well, they are going to call it.
Yeah, moving back.
Yeah, moving. Well, yeah, 5 more yards.
The down means nothing at this point.
7 guys.
1.3 ticks left. The Scots need a score.
Well, you're going to
look forward to seeing what Coach Emory says right after this ball game.
If they pass, there's going to be a lateral. They're going to try to run a hook and lateral. They're going to lateral the ball, try to keep it alive if they complete the pass.
It goes upfield, and the receiver falls down. An improbable comeback.